the big petty car, and I started to put the first coat of the Dayglow orange on there. And a lot of people ask me, they think it's red, and there's actually a couple pictures. If you actually look at it, there's one picture that actually shows it a red color, and the other pictures it shows an orange color. This is pretty darn close to it, and I basically just did one light coat, and I'm going to show you all something that I haven't yet to figure out why it happened. Now you can see where I just did a light coat on the bottom here, and no big deal. I got to put another coat, as you can tell by my perfectly painted fingernail there. But right there, I don't know why it won't coat on the fender right there. That is absolutely blowing my mind. I just do not understand that. But anyway, I think what I'll do is once this dries, I'll just take some really fine sandpaper and sand that down, and I'll probably shoot it again. And if it doesn't, what I'll do is I'll just go back in with more white and spray the area here, just to at least get an acrylic, because this is enamel, at least get the acrylic basically like a filler, and then shoot it over, and it should be just right. But anyway, I don't understand that at all. That was something that just absolutely boggled the mind. But anyway, I got one coat, got to do another coat, and then probably do 3 coats, and because I do everything light mist, and then we should be ready to rock and roll after that. But anyway, I got to paint the interior, and I want to start with the engine. And it's basically I got to do silver, and do some silver here, and then there's a little bit of gold, but I want to try to do the silver first, and that's what I was trying to do. I was going to do this morning, but the cat was sitting on my lap, and it was just hard to. I was having some cat time, so it was hard to get motivated to paint when you have the cat on your lap. But anyway, we're getting the base coat down on the orange on the big petty car, and then I'm going to try to start painting the engine either today or tomorrow. The Marauder's pretty much I sanded the back here, and it's ready to be painted. I actually glued the little top part on, and minus the clear parts, it's ready to be painted. The Bird of Prey, it's one of those, almost looks like an egg ship. You know, it looks thick. But anyway, it's a very fun kit. It's simple. I know it's kind of out of proportion a little bit, but anyway, that's the thing about science fiction. You know, this can be the K-Vort, the Burrell, or whatever size of Bird of Prey it is. But one of the guns, if you notice, it's missing. I actually dropped it on the floor, and I really don't know where I didn't hear it. I heard it hit, and I don't know where it's at. I swept up a little bit, which I need to sweep up a little bit more, and probably some other goody parts in the floor. But anyway, I'm gonna go into the shed, and I'll go dig out a gun and glue it on, because I just, by God, can't find it. It's got to be somewhere around here. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll glue the gun on, get it painted, get it shipped out, and then another project and whatever else, I'll sweep the floor, and then I'll find it. So that's the game plan. But anyway, got the Bird of Prey symbol, and I will get the gun on it either today or tomorrow, depending on the rain and the forecast to go into the shed. But anyway, that is where I stand on it. Basically, them are done, ready for painting. I got to thank a fellow modeler and avid fisherman for telling me about these. These are the Boomerang snips for cutting fishing line, because everyone knows I am looking for cam action sprue cutters, and I wanted to show everyone sprue cutters. See the travel. You know, when you cut it off the sprue, look at, you got this much of travel on the sprue, especially on a part. Now, if you're doing big parts, these are okay, but if you do smaller parts, it's not. That's why I wanted a smaller one, because when you cut it off sprue, look how much the travel is with your hand to the sprue than with an actual sprue cutter. These actually do work. They do cut off the part off the sprue. They don't cut really big sprue here. Like if you wanted to cut them, you can see there's not a whole lot of room there. But it does cut it. I just wish it would cut it a little closer, basically like a nipper to the part itself. My only complaint with these, and it's actually got a serrated blade. If it didn't have the serrated blade, I think this would be perfect. So I'm looking for this without the serrated blade, and basically just one straight blade like that. It's kind of like micro scissors in a way, but I need it without the serrated blade. That's the only thing that I need, and then I think it would actually just you clip on and on and on. They got a good feel to it, so you're real comfortable if you really need to cut it off screw. Of course, you know this is supposed to be for fishing, but you know for modeling. But anyway, that's actually pretty darn slick. I want to try my darndest to find something similar, same thing but similar, minus the serrated blade there. If I can find that without that, I mean, we'll be set and ready to go. But anyway, that's the boomerang, and I thank you for telling me about that. I will find a use for it in the model building world. It's always good to have more tools in the arsenal. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got. Oh, the Iron-Blooded Orphans. I actually have a couple model kits of these. And I really didn't know what they were, and they were cheap, and of course they were female. But anyway, I started watching the series this week, and then I'm about halfway through it. And I'm here to tell you, it's one of the, it's pretty decent. I don't watch all the Gundam series. I watch like certain ones, and this one I want to watch all the way through. It held my interest, and I'm a type of person. I'm not a big fan of specific Gundams, the ones that are basically the star of the show. I like the ones that are military drone type, background. I think they're just actually more slick. This is the Craze Gundam, which I think is very reminiscent of a Robotech Veritech fighter in robot mode. But anyway, that's that. I'm on a Gundam kick, but I'm not on a Gundam kick, if that makes sense. I got a idea in my head here that I've been looking at a lot of robot builds from people of Gundam, MAK, and I basically kind of want to combine the both. I want to do something like that, and I'll see if my little theory works before I show everyone that. But anyway, do highly recommend the Iron-Blooded Orphans. I think it's pretty darn slick. But anyway, that is what I've got going on today. Iron-Blooded Orphans. I am getting the Klingon. Got to find the part. Of course, I'll replace the part. I always do that if I could ever find it. But anyway, Marauder just ready for some paint. Getting some paint on the big petty car. Getting ready to paint the interior, and trying to find 101 ways to use the boomerang sprue cutter. So that's what I've got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.